Greetings, Larry here. Welcome to Larry's Fountain Pens. And I have some emails that I need to answer because they've asked me some very, very important questions that need to be addressed. So these are my recommendations. These are my answers. So let's get to it. And Mr. Announcer, would you read the first question while I take a drink?
The first question is, Mr. Larry, when are you going to give Mr. Announcer a raise?
Well, that's a real easy question. In fact, I'm planning on giving him a raise. That's when. How's that?
Okay, I guess that's an answer.
Yeah, all right. So that's a nice raise. Now, that's a nice raise. Can you dig it? All right.
Okay, next question. Mr. Larry, I am brand new with pens and inks. Help. What do I need to look for?
Well, you need to look to buy me a nice pen. How's that? Joke, joke, joke. Okay. You're brand new with pens and inks. You don't know what direction to go. You've seen so many darn reviews. You've heard so many recommendations. Do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. That's no good. That's terrible. That's okay. It's really confusing. I've been there, done that. And it sucks. So, I need a drink. Let's start with the ink first. Okay? And then we'll work our way to the pens. Now, this is my recommendation. First of all, don't buy any bottles of ink. Don't even go that way. You're brand new. You don't know what's going on yet. You're investigating. You're checking out inks. You don't know yet what color is going to suit you or what colors are going to suit you. So, instead of buying a whole bunch of bottles of inks that you may not ever use or use them once and then say, ugh, that sucks, then you're stuck with all this ink. Which isn't a bad thing. You know, ink's cool. So here's my recommendation. Get sample inks. Let me pull mine out real quick. I believe this tray holds about 50 samples of inks. So you can get a tray or not, it's up to you. Where can you find the trays? Well, just about any pen company that sells inks is going to sell these trays. So, and they do come in handy. Now, it's all about the ink. Depending where you get the ink, you're only going to get so much ink. Maybe 2 mils, maybe 3. Depends where you shop. So, I always recommend to get samples of ink. You're going to spend anywhere from $1.25, depending the brand of the ink, the type of ink it is. As much as what, 3 1/4. I've seen them for as much as 4. But you know, $1.25, $1.50, $2. That's pretty cool. Stay in that area. And they're going to come in these little sample vials right here. And it shows you how many mils you get. And what I always do, I always want to put the color of ink on the top of the lid. So I use a reinforcement on the top of the lid, and I get a little Q-tip, dip it in the ink, do it around there, so that way I know what color it's going to be automatically. So, you know, get 2, 3, 4, 5 bottles, 10 bottles, and work from there and start trying to play the elimination game. See what is right for you, what is maybe right for you, and what does not work for you at all. And for the ones that doesn't work for you, I would put them on a different area of the tray or put them in a box somewhere and go back to them later, and keep the ones that work for you on the tray and maybe work for you on the other side of the tray. You can split it up. And that's what I do anyway, because I have a cigar box with some ink sample that I just don't dig at all. Are you with me? And for me, this works wonders. And how I do it, like, let's just say, take any bottle, like this brown ink. If I like it enough, I'll buy a bottle. And this is the Waterman Absolute Brown. A nice ink. Love the shade of brown it is. So I may order a brown, the whole bottle. But this is the best way to go through inks to find out your preferred color of ink. Take it from me. No BS in here. Straight ink talk, baby. If you don't, then you're going to get lost in a bottle of inks all over the place, and you're going to get confused, because I've been there, done that. So this really works real well. It's simple, it's inexpensive, and it'll get you from point A, B, C, D, etc., etc. And it's not going to bust the bank, and you'll have a lot of fun with colors. So that's one way you can go. I hope that helped you. Now we're going to go into the pens. That's another big avenue to go to, because there are so many different pens. I mean, just like oodles of pens. This pen, that pen, here pen, my pen, this pen. Whole bunch of reviews on the good, bad, and the ugly. Don't know which way to go. It's all about money. You know, it just, well, is that pen going to be right for me? I don't know. Done. Ah, that was so good. You know, I don't know what pen is going to be right for you, to be honest with you. Now, if I was right there with you, then I could help you explore the direction that you may want to take. But since I'm not, I'm going to shoot from the hip, because this is a very important, serious question. Because I was down that same road you were in, or are in at the present time. So what pens would I recommend? Well, you know, I'm a Lamy guy. I like Lamy Safaris. We're going to start with the low ones. Now this is what, below, what, 35 bucks? But the bad point about this one is you have to buy your converter, and that's another 6 or 7 bucks. It's a real nice pen. I love it, but not everybody loves this type of pen because of the triangle grip. I love the way this grip fits my fingers, but there's some people that just do not feel this pen because of the grip. I can dig it. Noodlers has a real nice pen. Very affordable. I think you can get it for like under $23, I think. And you can only use Noodler's converter, which is a screw-on. And you don't want to lose that little breather in there that's going to help you suck up the ink. Or you can make it into an eyedropper, but these are for folks that are brand new or already in the pen world. Still new, but not brand new. So, you know, if you've been in there a while and still checking out pens, this would be a decent pen. You know, when I was brand new in the pen world, I think this was my third pen. I went into Noodler's Ahab. Great pen. I like it. Of course, there's some that don't. I'm the one that does. Another great affordable pen comes in colors would be the Pilot Metropolitan. I think they're about 24 bucks. You can get them in different colors, fine and medium of them. Very nice pens. Have a nice grip, a nice feel to it, have a nice color, they have a nice nib, they write extremely well, very affordable, great for long writing sessions. You can't go wrong with them, right? Cool. Okay, this is the Platinum Plaisir. This is the big brother to also the Platinum Preppy. Both are great fountain pens. They really are. This is like under 20 bucks, and the Preppy is under, what, $7? Both are great starter fountain pens. The nibs are different, Japanese pens, okay? So, but they're good nibs. They're decent. Well worth the money, variety of colors. So, those are some of the pens. Will there be anything else? Well, you know, there's just an abundance of pens, and I don't really want to just keep going and confuse you. But here is the Platinum Preppy I wanted to show you. This is the little brother right here. Very nice fountain pen. I like it. So, those are just a couple of 3-4 pens that are pretty decent, well worth the money. And if you don't like them, you don't have a lot of money invested in these pens. But you can find where your game is going to be fine, medium, even extra fine, which is not my thing. Unless it's a wet, smooth noodle extra fine nib and not scratchy. Ugh, I can't stand it. All right. So I hope I elaborated on those two topics clearly enough to get you at least thinking of what direction to go. All right, Mr. Announcer, is that it for that one?
That covers that one.
All right.
The next question covers nibs, like you were just mentioning. It says, I'm on a strict budget and would like to try different nibs. Do you have any suggestions?
Okay. Yeah. And again, that was me. I wanted to try different size nibs. And before I learned about nibs, I was buying different pens they were cheap pens, but I didn't know anything about how to change a nib out. So I just kept buying different pens till finally I learned. One of my favorite is the Jinhao 159. You can get them for like under $6. They come in a variety of colors. They come in a regular medium nib, and some come in a broad nib. And the broad nib, to me, I can't really tell the difference. Maybe you can, but I can't. But what's cool about these 159s is about the nib we're talking about, right? And I have a Knox nib on this one. This is a 1.5. And on this one is the regular standard Jinhao nib, medium. Now what's good about the Jinhao 159s, the 750s, and the 450s, they're all affordable Chinese pens, right? Okay. But they use a number 6 nib, and that's what we're talking about. You're going to be paying a very low amount of money for one of these pens. And, you know, you can get a Edison or a Goulet or Anderson or a Knox nib for, I think they're like under 20 bucks maybe. Extra fine, fine, medium, broad, 1.5. They may have 1.1s that you can try. Now these are friction fit. So what is friction fit? Good question. Friction fit is where you want to get something with like rubber grip, and you want to place your thumb under the feed and your finger on top with the rubber grip, and you want to pull straight out. And sometimes you have to kind of wiggle it if it's real stubborn and tight in there until it comes straight out. And then you pull it out, put your other nib on there, and push it back in. I've done videos on that as well. Now, not only the Jinhao uses a number 6 nib, the Mueller's Ahab, the Edison, the Conklin All-American, these are just some that come to mind that you can change the nib out. Just about any pen that comes with a number 6 nib, you can change out those nibs. Friction fit. Now there are some now that you screw in. You can unscrew the whole feed and nib. But then when you're buying the nib, you're still going to have to remove that nib from the feed, so you're still going to have to pull the nib out, put the new nib in. That could be kind of complicated. So I would just stick with something simple. Pull the nib out, put your new one in, and enjoy your day. You can have a lot of fun that way. Changing your nibs out, you're going to find which is going to be that favorite sweet nib you long for. Is it going to be extra fine? Fine. Medium. Is it going to be broad? A 1.0, a 1.1? Or is it going to be a 1.5? A 1.9? What? All sizes. But, you know, for me, it's a medium nib down the line. I do like some fine nibs that are really nice, smooth, and wet. And there's a very few that I have that are extra fine, that are not scratchy, that are nice, wet, juicy, and smooth. And they actually write more up like a fine. So that's how that's what I would recommend for nibs. And that would really help you find that right nib for you. Hopefully, you're hearing me. Hopefully, you're listening to me. I'm not feeding you a bunch of garbage. I'm shooting straight from the hip, and I'm trying to lead you in the right direction, because it can be really confusing and just blow your mind, because, you know, which way do I go? He says that, she says that. They say this, they say that. That's no good. That's good, and that's no good. Which way do I go? I'm trying to simplify it for you. I'm giving you what you wanted. Now it's up to you to go from there. Hope that helps you, my friend. All right, wrap that one up?
Yes, that does. That leaves the final question. What is your best blue ink?
Ah, the dreaded ink question that I always tend to avoid. Blue's my favorite color ink. Blue. Got it, blue. Now, let's talk about Noodler's Bay State Blue. One of my first to get into. I love it. It's a great ink. I really do love this ink, and I use it a lot. You're going to have a lot of people that don't like it. You're going to hear tales that it'll damage your pen. Now, I don't use this ink in any of my sack pens that have a sack inside with a lever or a squeezer that has a little sack, because they're harder to clean out, the sack anyway. But I've done a review on the ink with the nib where I left the nib in, 2 or 3 months, and I showed that the nib wasn't affected. I like it. Great stuff. I've got a backup bottle already ready for me to use, but this is good stuff. Noodlers makes some great inks, makes some great blue inks as well. You can check out their line of blue. Here is one of my favorite everyday blues that I use is Blue Velvet. Right here, baby. This rocks. Love Diamond Blue Velvet. I think it speaks for itself. I love the way it pops. A nice, beautiful blue on that paper. I mean, it's just a great color of ink. Diamond puts out some great colors, and this is probably my best favorite blue of all times. If not, this has to be one of my favorite blues, the KWZ Hawaii Blue. I love this stuff. This stuff is just gorgeous color of ink. Beautiful color of ink. I just love it. When I first tried this ink years ago when it first came out, I had to order another. And then I ran out, so I have 2 more bottles up there because I will run out. So these are my favorite blues. And this is my heart, Noodler's Bay State Blue. Some people are going to say, boo, that's no good, blah, 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 and that's cool. But I'm asked the question, I give you the answer. And so what ink do I use this pen in? I use it in a lot of my pens. In a lot of my Noodler's pens, Lami's, Pilot Metropolitans, Vanishing Points, some of my Fountain Pen Revolution with the gold nibs. I don't know. Whatever mood I'm in, I'll use it. I just don't use them in the sack fillers, or I don't put them in the piston fillers. They're harder to clean out. I like to put them in the converter. Easy, simple to keep clean. Less maintenance, what it's all about. And speaking of KWZ, is this the last question?
That was the last question.
Let me finish the show with my beautiful custom, we're talking custom, baby, Blue Storm, custom to what I wanted it to be. Where do you find the Blue Storm. There's only one place you can find this baby, and that's at Jim Hines Pens. Do you have his website?
HinzPens.com, and that's HINZE.
That's where you find this monster at. I like big pens. This is a long pen. I love the clip. I love the color. I love the texture. I love everything about this pen. And this baby, you can get them both ways. Steel nib, which are fantastic. But like I said, I had it made to my specifications. And I had a 14K medium gold nib dropped in this baby. Comes with a converter, wet, smooth, beautiful fountain pen, writes extremely well, and I use KWZ Hawaii Blue in it, and I've had this pen inked up for about a month now, using it. So, back to the newbie question on number 1. Wasn't that number 1 about pens?
Yes.
Not for a newbie, but if you're already in the the rabbit hole, excuse me, and you're looking to venture out and you're ready and you want a custom pen, you can go to Hines' website, because I think he has pens on his website for below 160. You can check them out. Or if you want to have a custom pen made, give Jim a buzz. Tell him Larry's Pen Bug Guy sent you to his domain, because he says, that's me, that you can make incredible pens. So, well, I hope this has helped those people that ask the questions. And, all my comments are from my heart. They're honest. They're what I feel. They're not anybody else's. Because you're going to hear a lot of But these are mine. I really do dig these inks. I dig those pens. So, hey, good luck. I wish you nothing but the best in the fountain pen world. And I hope you make a go of it. And share this video with all your friends. Get it out. Let's help others find the direction and the right path to go on their ink and pen journey. With that said, my friends, peace and happy Veterans Day to all your vets out there. Thanks for keeping us safe. Remember, my friends, don't text and drive.